Dear Reddit, what is the worst thing you have said during a breakup? Her. Is it someone else? Me, no, it's just you. My ex was insistent that I was leaving him because I wanted to go fuck other people, and you probably already are. I wasn't cheating. I left him because he tried to kill me, and still he was pointing fingers at anyone else. My partner's parents were abusive to Get and her siblings for their whole childhood, to the extent her oldest brother outlived himself. Finally, after years of therapy, she's realized they're nothing but a negative influence. They still just whinge and moan and are quite unpleasant when we'd visit, and so she stopped seeing them or taking to them. Their response? It must be because we moved to a different city when she was a teenager, or more recently she's really gone off the rails ever since she broke up with ex-boyfriend, which I love, because that's a judgment on me too. The worst is telling someone you don't love them anymore and genuinely seeing the heartbreak on their face. That's a gut-wrenching thing to see when you know your words caused it. Let me tell you, it's not great hearing it either. It's the kind of thing you hear that makes your face hot and your ears ring. It feels unreal. My fiancé just left me after telling me that she loves me, but she isn't in love anymore, and it left me broken, replaying infinitely every time I close my eyes. I see her unaffected facial expressions and her lips moving in slow motion, and my heart sinks each time like the first time I heard it. 2 months after our breakup, she asked me if I missed her. I told her I missed her parents more than I missed her. My ex-wife's brothers were in my wedding to my current wife. They fully support me, which is nice. They are probably 2 of my best friends to this day. Wow, that's some serious FU. No, serious FU would mean being in a sexual relationship with the 2 brothers. He took the tame route. The breakup wasn't my choice, but when he tried a few weeks later to reconnect, I said, "Oh, I've actually been really happy since we've been apart. I don't think I could get back together now." My sister called me savage for it, but I wasn't trying to be mean. It was the truth, and I just hadn't realized it up until the thought of taking him back filled me with dread. Unintentionally savage. The most savage of savages. Second most savage. Fred remains the most savage of them all. What about Ben? She was breaking up with me, and I told her, "You know you are right, and I agree, we aren't very compatible, and our relationship has been on the decline for some time." Those were my true thoughts and feelings. I felt a sense of relief when she broke up with me because I realized it was the best move for the both of us. So why was this the worst thing to say? It ended up making her want to double down on the relationship. I was bombarded with non-stop texts, phone calls, unannounced visits to my apartment. All of that. Apparently breaking up things amicably was not how she wanted to go. I think she was adamant she left with the upper hand. Reminds me of my husband and a dealing he recently had with his ex. They have kids. They were having a discussion about budgets at a restaurant with her mom being a mediator. She wanted an absurd amount of money for their daughter's party. He told her, "We aren't going to agree, I'm done with the conversation," and got up to leave. His ex always has to be the one to walk away. As he was getting up, she jumped out of her chair, grabbed her stuff, and basically sprinted out of the restaurant. Just so she could be the one to leave. "Please don't leave, no one else will ever love me," said by me sobbing in the open doorway of the new apartment of my wife of barely 1 year. My self-esteem was totally shattered. My life was over, there just was nothing left. She was kind but firm. She knew the relationship wasn't a good fit before I accepted that. We were very young, friends but not life partners. I didn't fully understand until I was a few years into my second marriage. We both went on to have successful, happy lifelong second marriages. That hit close to home, as I recently begged someone to please not leave me. I'm really truly happy for you that you found love and perspective, and hope one day I can be there too. Not today though. Sending a hug and wishing you a good week. Not a breakup, but was seeing this girl off and on, because she wouldn't commit to actually dating. Got sick of the yo-yoing, fired up Facebook dating and met my now girlfriend for drinks 2 days later. When the non-committal girl came back and I told her I was off the market, I said I'm just looking for someone who knows what commitment is. Must have hit a nerve because about 6 weeks later she was pregnant. Your words truly F her. Have you seen this man? Pretty sure he's Chuck Norris. I'd rather kill myself than stay with you any longer. Man, that would have made me want to KMS if my partner said that to me skull. I'm sure you have your reasons though. Yep. I can admit I was mentally shot myself when it came out. I had CPTSD after being with him. He had BPD. Decided alcohol was worth more than his kids, so I had to go. He wanted to put the entirety of child raising on me. Has a 1950s mindset. It was a nightmare. Specifically remember him screaming at me at the top of his lungs drunk one day the man works and the bitch stays at home, that's how this shit goes. When we were financially struggling and I needed to go back to work to help with bills. I had a career that would have offered us financial stability, and he was jealous of that. Like he didn't see us as a team for some reason. Like, yeah. I'm not gonna raise my kids with something like that, talking to me. He can figure his own shit out. I even went to therapy with him in college, and the intern told him he needed to go back. He had a lot of trauma from his parents. And he decided not to go. As they say, you can lead a horse to water. Sex is part of the reason I'm ending things. In my defense, it was my first time breaking up with a guy. The man had a boner the entire time I was breaking up with him, he was crying, and he kept trying to have sex one last time during my breakup speech. I was perplexed. The image of a dude being broken up with while also sporting a full tent is honestly kind of funny. It was something. Tell me he wiped away his tears with it. I had a partner who regularly threatened suicide if I left. She was horribly mentally, emotionally, and physically abusive. The last time she did this, she threatened to jump off our apartment balcony. I told her to make sure to do a backflip on the way down so you can at least go out in style, and left the apartment. Unsurprisingly, she didn't do it. Had a similar breakup. Was with the guy for 2 years, he sent me videos and pictures of his mouth full of pills, and deep down I knew he wasn't really going to do it. I still regret the way I handled that because if he really did it, I don't know how I'd be able to live with myself. The correct answer here is to call 911 or its equivalent. Tell them he's sending pictures of him taking pills to off himself. If someone wants to act serious, take them seriously, lol. Yep, my sister's ex tried to pull this shit, acting like he was dying over the phone. She freaks out, because she thought she was hearing him dying, calls for a police checkup. Guess who called back after an hour sounding totally fine but also really angry she did that? Dickhead. I once ended a struggling relationship. A few months later I got an email from the person, and it was pages of everything I had ever done wrong in the relationship. I realized that this was why the relationship had been struggling. All these things that had been bothering my partner, and they had bottled them all up inside instead of, say, talking to me about it. So, my entire response to this multiple-page email with everything I had ever done wrong. Thank you, that was very helpful. You fell asleep? It was 18 pages. Front and back. Don't worry about me not getting any sleep. I still have your letter. You are a 30 years old loser. Stop going to clubs to be the DJ because people actually make fun of you. Aw, stupid younger me. Would never say something like that. I was very hurt because he was with someone else 1 month after our +3 years relationship. But we are good now, and I wish him all the very best in the world. He was a good guy, but we were simply not right for each other. I just wanted to damage his ego because mine was damaged. Does he still go to clubs to DJ? This is important. Spoiler, he does. Ha ha ha, and I have been in those parties too. No bad blood anymore, we are cool. The good ending. He broke up with me over text message while I was getting tattooed. LOL. Okay, bye. Was my response. He kept thinking I was going to cheat on him with his best friend, who I despised. I was happy that one ended. Please like and subscribe for more daily content.